Beslutto, faz a par action. What? Why? Because a lot of the action. Except it's not much. So let's do it.
Just like that, and then boom, you've got all the exciting content that you want. Or maybe you're someone who uses public Wi-Fi a lot, in which case Surfshark can help by encrypting your data to protect your privacy while you're using a public network. And what's even better, perhaps one of the best things about it, is that you can use Surfshark. You guys see the title, it is back. Again, after yet another year between episodes. I'm pretty sure I put the Gunner one up on June 11th, 2020. At least, if you don't count the re-ranking video that I did for this series last month, where I changed about all the rappers to update my opinions on them. If you haven't seen that, go and check that out first. And then come back to this one about the one, the only rap game baby. No. Not that one. Lil Baby. Lil Baby is who we're going to be talking about today. In the past few years that he's been rapping, Lil Baby has just skyrocketed in popularity. But the most important question that is on everybody's mind right now, what does CDTV think about him? Everybody's definitely asking themselves that. Well, to form an opinion on his music, I listen to Harder Than Hard, Harder Than Ever, Street Gossip, and My Turn. Speaking of that, you know what else can be harder than hard? Getting a nice, smooth trim low down below the belt that's free of any injuries. Did you guys notice that I managed to pack a whopping 7 Lil Baby song titles into that ad read right there? I'm too slick with it. One of them was literally called How, so that's kind of cheating. That could be used in any ad read, but I'm counting it anyway. So let's not waste any more time. This is CDTV Productions, and is Lil Baby one of the worst rappers in the game, or not? Let's talk about it. I'm just gonna lay it out straight away here. Voice and delivery is easily the weakest aspect of Baby's music for me. If a rapper's presence on a track could be compared to facial hair, a Lil Baby would be some peach fuzz. Wispy, about notice that it's there. If music is wiggly air, then Lil Baby's rapping is a very light breeze. And sure, some of this is down to his natural voice just sounding like that, but I also think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he is a relatively new rapper. We have to keep in mind, Lil Baby only started rapping in 2017, and as a result, I don't think he's fully found out how to make his vocals hit strongly yet. At least not consistently. There is some stuff he definitely does right when it comes to rapping, which we will get to soon, but when it comes purely to voice and delivery, in my opinion, I think you can really tell that Baby hasn't really been rapping for that long. It's still an issue with his current music, but it was definitely the most noticeable with his pre-My Turn stuff.
Little talk, I can push it on. 100 bags of gas, get me gone. Made a couple digits off the phone. Catch a foot on, push a button. Tell them how I feel. Made myself a millionaire. On a TV here, dog. 2500 for a new pair of tennis shoes. Same price like a Mets can finish you. Though you being charged real good like a guru.
I don't know any other way to describe it than just sounding really thin. It's especially noticeable when rappers with a stronger presence feature on the tracks.
Now I'm taking shots. They got off a roll. Don't even take a shot.
He is getting a little bit better at finding his voice, and certain tracks on My Turn do display a bit more vocal strength from Baby. It's still not super consistent, but at least he's moving sort of in the right direction. And some of his features give him the opportunity to try something new, such as Do That by Stunner for Vegas. Baby raps more clearly and with a little more aggression on this verse, and it's actually one of my favourites from him. I wish his voice was a little more emotive and powerful like this a lot more often on his own music.
I'm supposed to be someone serving in one of them houses with pound. How the fuck I get rich? Who the hell said that life was a bitch? I got too many bitches for one life to live.
At most, you only hear more emphasis in his voice on a few tracks throughout his own mixtapes, on songs like Dates, Marks, and Southside. Get used to me bringing up Southside, by the way, because that is one Baby track that I love. But as it is, it still remains the weakest element of his songs right now for me. He doesn't have one of the worst voices I've
Well,
heard.
because what?
He doesn't. Like, I would never describe it as unbearable. It's just incredibly underwhelming to me and doesn't really evoke much emotion.
3.
9 times
Wait, what?
his voice
Okay, I
is
don't
very
know,
slight
but
over time,
no.
but it's still not something that I love.
Because I
And that's
haven't.
where I'm going with the 3.5 out of 10 for Lil Baby's voice and delivery. And now let's talk about my personal favorite part of Baby's music, his flow. If there is one thing he usually does right, it's this. Even if I don't love his voice, his flow can just really make it sound like he's going in on a track sometimes. Now let me talk about features first, because that's where Baby usually shines for me. That non-stop flow on Wants and Needs by Drake, I thought he was going to slow down eventually, but he just keeps going.
You walk around with them bands and I bitch this gun ain't gon' jam and I blow it ain't missing. I'm dropping hit after hit, I'm just chilling, but I send it here, I chill.
That is my favorite Lil Baby feature right now. Don't Need Friends by Nav. He came in so smooth with that clapping thing and then just weaved in and out of the beat for the rest of his verse. Pop Out Again, Trap, Nookie, Blindfold, Prospect. If we're talking about the flow, I love how Baby performs on all these tracks. And I specifically say if we're talking about the flow because some of them, I'm looking at you, Prospect, are mixed pretty poorly against the beat. Like Baby sounds kind of out of place there, but the flow is nice. And luckily, this is something that mostly continues in his own music. Southside mention number 2, Baby. Just listen. He kills that track.
Nigga, my kid tryna see what I do. They taking up, tryna study my moves. They tryna do what I do. All-Star Weekend, I'm getting a pack here. I got shit, so nigga, you lacking.
It's not the most complex flow ever, but when he's just constantly gliding over a beat, I think it works really well. From Harder Than Ever, through to Street Gossip, through to My Turn, the flows are consistently good, honestly. I don't really like most things about the Street Gossip album, but the flows and features are the saving graces on it. Harder Than Ever has highlights like the aforementioned Southside, Leaked, Cash, and Throwing Shade, and there's some really great flows on My Turn on songs such as Get Ugly, Heating Up, Live Off My Closet, and Forever. Live Off My Closet is another one of those top Baby songs to me.
I can live out my closet, so I go broke. I got too many cars, I ain't paying no note. Too many tango to stick on my choke. I be sipping no syrup, I ain't driving no boat.
So do you guys remember? I've never been here. Have you ever watched a rap music video that made you feel uncomfortable, whether it was from start to finish or just a couple moments in the video that made you squirm? Well, after setting up all these beautiful pumpkins, I thought I'd share some videos that give me that unsettled feeling to celebrate this spooky season on time as well this time around, and we'll see if you guys feel the same about it. Has anyone guessed my Halloween outfit yet? It's CDTV the G, my deceased twin. Is he really dead? Is he really my twin? No one will ever know. Now each video is going to be given a score out of 5 spooky soldiers to represent how much it shook me to my core. So let's get started with the lowest rated one and progress through to the highest rated, aka most unsettling, as we go on.
I'm a high-bodied astronaut, crashing while jacking off the buffalo mids, astronaut eating applesauce.
Errol by Earl Sweatshirt. Love the song. The music video makes me feel a little sick. We start off with a preview of Errol's morning routine vlog with him making the most toxic smoothie ever known to man with his friends and chugging it all down. Nothing like a cup full of oxys, weed, cocaine, cough syrup, or a juice, I can't really tell what that is, and beer to start your day. That's nasty enough to watch, just imagine drinking that yourself. But then the video gradually descends into some gross out body horror as a result of drinking death in a cup. Earl and his friends start bleeding everywhere, coughing up bloody teeth, but the one main part that made me say, yep, this is going on the list, is the part where Earl casually and slowly tears off his fingernail. I don't know if that makes you nauseous, but I genuinely can't watch that part. Obviously, because it's Odd Future, the video does have a sense of silliness and fun to it, so that's why it only gets 2 spooky soldiers, but my god, man. That nail scene. Fuck you for putting that in there, Earl Sweatshirt. Okay, this one is a somewhat sharp left turn from the somewhat fun but gross out nature of Errol's video, because this one is mostly just eerie and heartbreaking. The song itself has a pretty fun and danceable 90s hip-hop disco style beat, but the lyrics and the content of the video are much darker, focusing on a child who's being picked on by other kids because they know that her mother is addicted to crack. This is shown in the video with the other kids dancing around her and chanting the chorus to her, while she tries to defend herself and deny her mother's crack addiction. During the verses, you see the mother walking around the street trying to buy some crack and selling her body for it. Then at the very end of the video, you hear the child begging her mom to stop using the drug because the other kids are making fun of her for it. This dropped in 1991, right after the American crack epidemic of the 80s, so this was a dark, fictional song based on very real situations. This one is a bit lower on the spooky soldier scale because while I do think it's unsettling with its low-budget, uncanny 90s aesthetic, it's mainly sad. I think it's just sort of the surreal aspects of the video that make it an uncomfortable watch, combined with the reality-based concept. This one is just really fucking cool as a fan of horror films, with some really creative and interesting shots and effects. It's fun and inventive, but